Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be doing a crochet kit from Five Below. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, I am taking a little break from the request list because there's only 2 weeks left of October before Halloween. So I have to get out, I think 7 or 8 kits. It's crazy. So I really need to get them out. I don't want to be posting these after Halloween because it's not going to make much sense. But anyway, all right. So I found these at Five Below. They're super ultra cute. We've got Stitch in a pumpkin costume. So, and this looks very intricate, so I hope that the crocheting the instructions are going to be not so difficult. Alright, this video is going to be a supplement to the instructions. I cannot show the instructions anywhere for copyright reasons. So if you'd like to make this project, I highly recommend you go to your Five Below or go on fivebelow.com and get yourself one of these kits. Okay, so in this kit, you're going to get yarn, felt stickers, a crochet hook, a plastic needle, stuffing, and instructions. And this is what it looks like. This looks like a lot, but I feel like if those were probably photoshopped, it's not going to look like a lot. Anyway. And I didn't realize, but it looks like there was tape and it was open. So hopefully this wasn't tampered with because this had been sitting. Oh geez, I really hope not, because this is there's tape on each side and it seems like the bottom doesn't have tape. That's going to be very saddening if we're missing items. So let's hope for the best. Okay, so we have felt stickers, we have our crochet hook, we've got a few pieces of yarn, we've got this one, that one, and that one. So we just need the yellow and the blue. Hopefully it's in here. We have the stuffing, we have the yellow and the blue. Woof! Okay. This is really jam-packed, isn't it? And then here are the little instructional booklets. Let's see, what is this? Universal abbreviations and the instructions. Okay. It explains, and these are the universal stitches, so it explains that via text. Both sided here. They call theirs the adjustable ring. There's so many names for it. Magic ring, adjustable ring. I think there's one more. I forget. Okie dokie. So hopefully I can finish this all in one video. But I can't stretch my video more than 2 hours. It gets a little crazy. I mean, sometimes I do, but it's just a little rough on the uploading and the editing. So, setting this aside. And then berry blue. Alright, they do name these, but they don't show you which one is what. Berry blue. I'm guessing this is berry blue. Let's see what kind of size needle we're using here. Ah! Where's the plastic needle? Oh, it's there. Okay. What they don't have in here that you should definitely have are these stitch markers. I'm all about them. These are going to help you, especially when you're a beginner, to keep track of how many stitches you're doing, how many rounds you're doing, because sometimes it's so repetitive, but it's the same instruction that that you need these to keep track of how many rounds you're going to be doing. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, these are all the stitch markers that I've collected over the kits that I've done. I had not purchased, in a sense, a pack of these. They've come with the kit, but you can purchase stitch markers in a hobby store or online for a pack. So definitely check that out. It'll help you with your projects. So this says it's using a 3.5 millimeter hook, crochet hook. And we're going to get started with the berry blue yarn doing the head. And we're going to do this like right now. I've never had a ball of yarn before, so this sucker is going to be rolling around. I usually have like the spools, so this is going to be not so fun. I don't like it when my yarn rolls around. But let me just get some of this so that it won't roll for a good amount of time. I guess you can put this in like a, oh, I guess you could have picked from the, oh, maybe I should have done that. Let me see. I see a little opening, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to show you why. It's a little tip. There are machines that will help unravel your balls of yarn or spools of yarn if it's difficult, but I just like doing it the good old cheap and manual way. What you're gonna do is go in here in the center, and sometimes the other end is easy to find, sometimes it's not. I have a feeling this is going to be hard to find, but I'm going to grab a chunk, and it might be a little crazy at first, but you grab a chunk. So clearly in here somewhere is the other end, but now when I pull from the inside, it's not going to roll around. But for now, it's going to be a little messy because I pulled out a big chunk. Sometimes, like I said, you get lucky and it's right there. Other times it's not so big of a chunk. So the idea is just to try not to pull too much out. But either way, this seems like a crazy thing to do, but when your spool is not rolling around while you're crocheting, it's great, especially if you have any pets, because once they see that little ball moving, it's like, you know, a target, and they have to go after it. And I've had Dexter tangle up my spools so bad that I have to sit and like untangle it anyway. All right, so we got to the other end here. Oh, that's so funny. Their abbreviations call it adjustable ring, but their instructions call it magic ring. Okay. So let me teach you guys how to do a magic ring, and we're going to do this for righty. If you need a lefty, you know, it's pretty much the same. You can request it, but I do have a long list, so I'm really trying to get that down. And I'm throwing in all these Halloween kits, so it's a mighty fine list here. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to grab this end piece of yarn and you're going to wrap it around your finger about 3 times. Okay, then you have a little bit of overage so that you can take your middle finger and place it right on top. So from here you can straighten out your threads, tighten it up if it's too loose. But what I'm going to do is take my crochet hook and we're going to slip it underneath the 3 strands like this. Then I'm going to pull it back, pulling this strand underneath these 2. So hook that strand. You want to tilt your hook a little bit to the side so that you can easily slip it underneath the other 2 strands like that. So now we have this kind of a situation. What we're going to do next is do a yarn over. So we got to put this strand, this feeder yarn, over the hook like that. So that's a yarn over. Then we're going to pull this strand through this loop like that. So after that, let go of your middle finger, remove the rings off your index, and you're ready to begin your stitches. So you guys, I have to say that if you need to watch this again, you can rewind it. What you also can do is click on the gear button in the corner. There's playback options to go fast or slow. So if this is, if my slow is too fast for you, click on the gear button and put the playback down. All right, if you don't need to hear me talk, you can lower the volume on your device and then click on the CC closed caption button. All right, so looking at these instructions here, the thing is that it doesn't really tell you before and after each round, because there's some steps that you have to do unless this is supposed to be a continuous ring. So let me just check this real quick. I'm going to check the little key code to see if they say anything about it. All right, so it looks like it's just one continuous spiral. Okay, so for round 1, we're going to do the number of single crochet stitches in this magic ring. So I'm going to show you how to do a single crochet stitch. So what you're going to do is put your hook into the magic ring. You're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop so that you have 2 loops onto your hook. Then you're going to yarn over again and pull through those 2 loops. So this is a single crochet stitch. You have this going on here, and then the top of the stitch there's like a braid. You have a loop here and a loop next to it over here. All right, so let's do another one. Stick your hook into the magic ring. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop. So you have 2 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over again and we're going to pull through those 2 loops. So here's another single crochet stitch. It looks like the top of the stitch looks like a braid. We have a loop here and a loop next to it right here, and then here's the other one. So it's going to start looking like a braid if you ever seen someone with braided hair. All right, let's do one more with you guys. So stick your hook into the magic ring, yarn over and pull up a loop. So you have 2 rings on your hook. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through those 2 loops, and that is a single crochet stitch. And here's the top. It's like a braid. You have a loop on the left, loop on the right. That's if I'm holding it this way. If you're holding it this way, you have a loop in the front, a loop in the back, and then here's the other 2. All right, so I'm gonna do the remaining single crochet stitches that the instructions tell you, and then we're gonna move on to the next round or the next steps. So the idea of a magic ring is that we are taking a big hole like this, and then we're going to remove it and make it very tight, and that's why they call it a magic ring. So what we're going to do, we're going to overhand our hook like this, and we're going to hold the bottom stitch where this excess piece like this with your thumb and index. You can let go of this feeder yarn for now. So we have our excess piece, we have 1 loop here and 1 loop here. You want to grip this not too tightly, but enough just to keep it stable. You can maybe use your middle finger to hold this out of the way. We don't want it to get in our way. So pull on this excess piece. You're going to carefully watch to see which loop goes in first. Once you've identified which loop went in first, stop pulling. So we're going to do that now. Okay. This back loop here was the one that started to go in first. So whichever loop went in first, you want to pull out the bottom end of that loop. Not up here next to the hook, the one down here next to the excess piece. So I'm just going to take that loop and I'm going to pull the bottom part out, and then you'll slowly see the other loop start to go in. You want that to completely disappear into your magic ring. So once it's completely gone, you can stop pulling. If you look closely, you can't really tell in camera, but there's a tiny hole still left in there, and of course you have this that you want to remove. So what we're going to do now is just pull the excess piece and then watch this loop disappear. So let's do that now. Once it's completely gone, you can stop pulling. Now at this point, you may or may not still have a little hole. That's fine. What we're going to do now is pull in the opposite direction and a little bit up, like on a 45-degree angle, and just pull a little bit more. You're going to feel it. Pull just a little bit more. You don't have to go too crazy, but it's just that little bit of yarn left. And then once you're done with that, your hole should be completely gone. All right, so what you want to do now is we're going to count the number of stitches we're supposed to have starting from the hook, and then once you've identified which stitch is the number you need for round 1, you're going to stick your marker in that last stitch just under the braid. The instructions that they have actually say use a different color yarn if you don't have markers, but it gets messy and that's a little crazy, so I highly recommend getting these markers. But yeah, you slip it just under the braid and then we're going to close this. So now we know where we're going to start and where we should end. So gather up some yarn and let's start round 2. So a new stitch, let's do this step by step. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do an increasing stitch. What you want to do now is stick your hook into that first stitch where the marker is. Okay, so stick your hook in there. All an increasing stitch is doing 2 single crochet stitches in this stitch. So let's do the first one. Do a single crochet stitch that I taught you earlier. I think I accidentally pierced the yarn. Make sure you get a nice clean, you're not splitting any yarn because it makes it difficult to crochet. But yeah, let's do the first single crochet stitch. Okay, and then let's do another one, single crochet stitch. So if you see here, you have 2 single crochet stitches coming out of this one marker. Okay, so now that we've kind of did our first stitch where that marker is, let's remove this marker and we're gonna put it at the last stitch we did in the last round. So obviously if we did 2 just now, put it here at the last stitch of the first round. Okay, so we're pretty much going to be doing increasing stitches, so let's do this again step by step. Go into the next stitch, put in your hook. We're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in this stitch. So let's do 1, stick your hook back into that same stitch, and we're going to do 2. All right, so and now you can kind of easily count how far you've gone, because if this marker is supposed to be the last stitch of round 1, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches we just made. So that's why these are very helpful in case you get a phone call and you have to step away for a few minutes, or if you have a lot to do and you have to step away for a few days, heck, a few weeks, a few months. You'll come back and you should at least be able to count how many stitches and maybe how many rows, depending on how many markers you have. You can just leave it in here. All right, one more time, step by step, let's do an increasing stitch. So stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to do 2 single crochet stitches, 1 and then 2. Okay, so now we're going to do the rest of the single crochet stitches at my normal pace. You can rewind this video until you feel comfortable doing increased stitches by yourself, but then we're going to come back in and I'm going to show you the next steps. I wanted to take this opportunity, guys, to mention that on my original channel I am offering a special NFL giveaway It's for 18 weeks, and we are now in week 8. So check in the description box for my original channel link as well as the rules. There's going to be a craft winner, and they're going to be receiving goodies as well as a gift card and a one-on-one StreamYard session, something similar to this, where you can show me the projects you're working on, or if you want to learn how to crochet or knit, or if you're inspired to start a channel or have a channel currently, we can talk and I can dispel some advice for you. Alright, so I finished all the increasing stitches. I'm going to remove this marker because we had placed our last increasing stitch where this marker was at. So now let me just mark the last stitch of this second round we just finished right here, just under the braid. Okay, nice and clean. Try not to split any yarn. Close it up, and then we're going to do round 2. Round 3. All right, so now round 3, we have something interesting. We have parentheses, abbreviation of instructions, and then we have a times and a number. So what this means is whatever stitches are in the parentheses, you're going to repeat that as many times as the instructions tell you. So we're pretty much going to be repeating single crochet stitches and increasing stitches all the way around the project here. So let me show you what the parenthesis stitches look like 3 times, step by step. So we're going to be doing our single crochet stitch, and then we're going to be doing our increasing stitch. All right, and then because it's in parentheses, we have to repeat it. So single crochet stitch and then increasing stitch. All right, and one more time with you guys. Single crochet stitch and increasing stitch. Okay, so you should be able to get the gist of what parenthesis instructions mean. So now I'm just going to go ahead and complete the rest of the round, and then we'll see what's in store for the next round. Alright, once you've completed your round, we're going to remove the marker, and we're just going to place it under the last stitch we made for round 3, just under the braid. Make sure you don't split any yarn. And then we're going to continue with round 4. So round 4 through round 7 is pretty much the same concept. So, and they're the same stitches that I've already taught you step by step. So what I'm going to do, you guys, I'm going to be doing rounds 4 through 7 in silence, and when we pop back in, we have a new situation, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, so I completed round 7. So now for this set of instructions, which is again why you should invest in these markers, we have rounds 8 through 14, and they're all going to be the same instruction over and over again. So if this is round 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Let me just double check the count. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I can go about doing this mindlessly if I have a phone call, have to do some dishes, gotta go eat some dinner, whatever it is. As long as you know it's the same instruction, repeated this many times until you run out of them, then you know you have completed that whole chunk of instructions. So again, I'm going to do the rest in silence, and then we're going to come back in and looking at round 15, we are going to be changing colors. So this is what's going to happen. Round 14, you're going to not do the last single crochet stitch because I'm going to show you how to do a smooth transition into the soft blue. Alright, so I finished almost every round of 8 through 14, but like I said, we're transitioning into the soft blue, so I didn't finish the last stitch, and I'm going to show you why. So what you want to do is take your hook and just pull out a huge loop and then remove your hook. This is going to prevent you from losing that stitch. We're going to set this aside. Then we're going to go in and grab the soft blue right here. And if you didn't notice before, I am naturally a lefty, believe it or not. So when I put the feeder yarn on the wrong hand, I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing a righty video. So apologize for that. But I'm just gonna unravel this thing here. Okay. Man, this is secure. Alright. I normally don't like it when they wrap yarn like this because it gets tangled easy. If you can find a way to split the yarn where it folds like that, then it'll be easier, and then find the other end, which is usually on the inside, which I am having difficulty finding. If you can't find it, that's fine. Just, it's going to come from the outside, which will probably start, like, you know, see how it's not that smooth. But we are going to cast on with the slip knot with the soft blue. How you do that? Well, we're going to take the ring and pinky and thumb, and we're going to hold the end like this, and you want to keep this nice and tight. Then loosely we're going to take our index and middle finger and hold apart the soft blue like this. Again, a little loosely, because we're going to take our crochet hook and lie it perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around to create a loop around the hook, and you can slide up and down with this. Now slide all the way down towards the thumb, and then we're going to take our middle finger on our right hand and just hold it where it crosses so that we can let go of the left. You want to gather up some feeder yarn, re-pinch the end as low as you can possibly go. Then we're going to slide the hook farther down towards the thumb, and then where it crosses, you just want to pinch it so that you can no longer slide it up and down. Then what we're going to do is do a yarn over like that, and then we're going to pull this yarn over through this loop like that. Now we're going to overhand our hook with our hand like this. We're going to re-pinch this end. You don't want to lose it, but hold it tight. This knot that we created, you want to push it towards your left thumb. While you're pushing it down, the knot's going to get smaller, and you want to keep doing that until you can no longer push it down because your thumb is in the way, or if the knot is already tight. So just to make sure that this knot is nice and snug, pinch the end piece here and pull it out just a little bit more. You don't have to pull it too hard. So now this knot is nice and snug. We're going to grab it and we're going to pull it closer to the hook. You want to leave a little bit of room here because we're going to slip this off like that. Try not to lose it. We're going to set this down. Then we're going to take our project. We're going to put the hook back into the loop, and it's huge. So now we're going to take the feeder yarn and just pull on it so that we can make a smaller loop. And then we're going to finish the last stitch. So I'll do this step by step. Put your hook into the last stitch. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop so you have 2 loops on your hook. But what I'm going to do now is take this feeder yarn. I'm going to use my ring finger to kind of hold it back out of the way. I'm going to take my soft blue and slip it onto the hook and get some feeder yarn from that. And then we're going to yarn over. Well, that's the yarn over. This little loop is the yarn over. And we're going to pull that through both loops to finish the single crochet stitch. So that's, and then now we're ready to do the next stitch in soft blue. So that's how nice it is to make a clean transition between colors. I'm going to take my marker and put it under the last stitch we made. You can also remove this. I'm going to remove this once I do a couple of more stitches because I don't want to like accidentally lose this. You know, I have it like the knot. It's just behind the two loops here, which is great because you don't want it to pop out and show in front of your project. I'm trying to keep it behind. But we're going to do round 15. So round 15 introduces a new stitch, and I'm going to show you how to do it. But we have a first set of parentheses. So I would like for you to go ahead and do the single crochet stitches that it's asking you to do, and then I'm going to go in and teach you the decreasing stitch. However, I forgot. Just looking at this photo, I believe we won't be going back into this berry blue. So let's cut this. What you want to do is maybe cut about 1 inch or so. And then what I'm going to do is tie it around the soft blue. Because it's the only thing we have this, but it's too far down. You're going to stretch it. So just tie it around the soft blue about twice. It doesn't have to be super tight. Just enough so that it doesn't, you don't lose your stitching in the berry blue. Alright, and then you can leave that excess piece back here. But yeah, okay, so now let's do the first set of parentheses. Alright, and you see here how that's a nice transition. It just went from blue to soft blue. I'm going to remove the rest of these markers because they'll just get in the way. Alright, so now let's learn how to do a decreasing stitch. So just like the increasing stitch, the decreasing stitch is kind of the opposite. So the increasing stitch, we grew an extra stitch. The decreasing stitch, we're going to subtract a single crochet stitch. So let me show you how to do that. You're going to stick your hook into the next stitch. You want to yarn over. You're going to pull up a loop so that you have 2 loops on your hook now. Then we're going to stick our hook into the next stitch over. Alright, and then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop. So now you have 3 stitches on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So essentially we took 2 stitches and made it into 1. Alright, so let's do this again. Do your single crochet stitches first. Alright, then let me show you how to do a decreasing stitch again. Okay, so stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop to have 2 loops. Then you're going to stick your hook into the next stitch over, yarn over and pull up a loop so that you have 3 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. Again, taking 2 stitches and turning it into 1. Okay, so now we completed our parenthesis sets. We have to do single crochet stitches, but then we're gonna, oh, I so lied. We are changing to berry blue. Oh no. I'm sorry. Alright, well then I can teach you how to do a slip knot again. Alright. So frustrating. Okay. New instructions. Sorry, guys. All right, so let's do our single crochet stitches, except for the last one, because like we did before, we're going to transition into the other blue. Oh my gosh, so annoying. Okay. Wow. So like we did before, pull out a huge loop, and you could do it this way. There's nothing wrong with doing it this way. Other instructions will tell you to drag the yarn in your project, and that was what I would do, but I mean it is kind of far apart, so maybe it is best to just start anew. So take your berry blue yarn, index, pinky, and thumb hold one end. Index, wait, did I say that right? Thumb, ring, and pinky hold the end. Index and middle finger hold it apart like this. We're going to take our crochet hook and lay it perpendicular to the yarn. Then we're going to go down, out, and around so that your hook can slide up and down. You want to slide it down towards your thumb. Use your middle finger on your right hand to just hold it where it crosses so that you can let go of your left. We're going to gather up some feeder yarn. Then we're going to repinch this end as low as we possibly can go. And then we're going to drag our hook down towards it. And where it crosses, just pinch with your thumb so that you can no longer slide it up or down. We're going to do a yarn over. And you're going to pull through the loop. And then we're going to overhand our hook like this. We're going to repinch this end. Don't lose it. And then we're going to push the knot towards the left thumb. So push it down until it hits your thumb or until the knot is too tight to push anymore. But then we're going to take our thumb and middle finger and just pull that excess piece a little bit more to make that knot nice and snug. Then you can take the knot and slide it up towards the hook. You want to leave yourself some space because we're going to slide this off your hook. Set it down. We're going to pick up our project, put our hook back in, tighten up the feeder yarn, and then we're going to finish the last single crochet stitch in this set of instructions. So stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop so that we have 2 loops. We're going to hold the feeder yarn back because we're going to pick up the berry blue, slip it onto our hook, gather up some feeder yarn, and we're going to pull this through both loops to finish our single crochet stitch. So from here we're going to be doing, and I am leaving this on, so then I can show you how you drag it, and then you can choose what you want to do. So we're going to do our single crochet stitch, and then we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to do a decreasing stitch one more time to make 3 times. So stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops. Then go into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, so you have 3 loops. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 3 loops like that. So we made 2 stitches into 1. So now that we did that, we have one more set of instructions for this round, and we have to times it by the number it tells us to do. When we get to that last set, that last decreasing stitch, we have to change to the berry blue. So I'll jump back in and show you how to do that one more time. So moving forward, you'll be able to do rounds 16, 17, and 18 switching colors. Okay. All right. So we're at our last decreasing stitch for this round. And we're going to have to change to berry blue halfway through the stitch. So what you need to do is, here's our soft blue. You want to kind of run around the perimeter of your project with the soft blue. Essentially, we're going to use the soft blue to complete our last decreasing stitch, but you want it to be able to run the perimeter because we have to stuff this. You don't want to pull it straight across like this, because when you put your stuffing, it could get snagged. You'll have a little dimple in Mr. Stitch's head. So you really want to try to give yourself a generous amount to go around the perimeter of your project, so that when we do grab it, you're not pulling anything and it'll stay nice and smooth. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to drop this for now because we do have to start this decreasing stitch. So what we're going to do, stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop to have 3 loops on your hook. Now for the last one, we're going to put this aside, and again, just make sure that you run the perimeter of your project. Gather up some feeder yarn. Okay. So now we're going to yarn over with the soft blue and pull through all 3 loops to complete our decreasing stitch. All right, then you can remove this marker, place it under the last stitch we made. Okay, we're going to keep this on here because we're going to use it again for the next rounds, but now we're on to round 16. All right, so now for round 16, we're just going to follow the set of parentheses, which we pretty much have been doing, so I don't have to teach you how to do that. However, I want to show you how to hide this, and it'll help you run it along the perimeter so that when you stuff, it doesn't get snagged and start pulling. So let me show you how to do that. So for our first stitch, we're doing a single crochet stitch. So when you do it, stick your hook into the next stitch. We have this soft blue just floating around. Just line it up with your edges, with your stitches on the hook, not below it, but on it. Okay, and then what we're going to do is continue making our single crochet stitch. So if you look closely, when we do our single crochet stitch, essentially we are stitching that perimeter piece inside the stitch, and that's how you'll hide it. So let's do this again. I'll do another single crochet stitch with you. Stick your hook into the next stitch, lay the perimeter yarn here right alongside that stitch over your hook. We're gonna do our single crochet stitch, and as you can see, it's being wrapped into that stitch, hiding it. Okay, one more time with you guys. Stick your hook into the next stitch, lay that perimeter yarn right next to that stitch over the hook, and then we're going to do our single crochet stitch. And then here we have, so as you can see, it's being stitched inside these stitches so that when you stuff, it doesn't get caught or snagged and pulled to create a dimple in your project. All right, so for round 16, now that we know how to hide the perimeter yarn, do the decreasing stitches, we already know how to do the single crochet stitches. I'm going to finish the rest of this and then we have to transition to the blue. How many times I've did it this way. I'll jump back in and show you how to change the color 2 more times. So, all right, let's do this. Alright, so I stopped doing the last single crochet stitch in this section here. I gotta do the same thing I did with the soft blue, and just a little tip, you can try to find the shortest route around so that you don't waste yarn. So I'm going to go around the shorter end here. It is the soft blue, so we won't be able to hide it, and that's fine. Or you can go the long way and then hide it. I guess we could do that because it looks like they give you a good amount of yarn here. So let's try that. Because even though you're hiding all of this, you do want to also make the inside neat again, so when you stuff, it doesn't get all messed up and pulled and tangly and stuff like that. Alright, so I'm just going to hold this where I need it to be. We're going to do our last single crochet stitch for this part here. So stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop so that you have 2 loops. Then we're just going to set this soft blue aside and grab our berry blue, and we're going to finish this single crochet stitch with the berry blue, yarn over and pull through both loops, and now we've transitioned to the berry blue. Okay, then we have to do our decreasing stitch, and again we're going to lie this right next to our stitch over the hook, and we're going to do the first part of our decreasing stitch. Then we're going to put our hook into the next stitch, line up this perimeter yarn right next to the stitch over the hook. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop to have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So that's what you would do again to just tuck the perimeter yarn into these stitches. So now that we've done that, you can complete the last set of parentheses, and then I'll come back in and show you how to change to soft blue one more time. All right, we have our last our last decreasing stitch left. I'm going to travel this soft blue, and then we're going to transition to it. Okay, so just go around the perimeter again like we did. Okay, and let's start our last decreasing stitch. Okay, and then we're going to take our soft blue and use that to complete our decreasing stitch. We're going to replace this marker under the last stitch we made. All right. And then we're going to do round 17. So what we're going to do now, run round 17. I kind of gave you the tools to transition smoothly in your project. I'm actually going to complete till round 20, finish that. No, I'm not. I'm going to stop at round 18 because we have to stuff the head. All right, but I'm going to do this in silence. Alright, so we finished that, and let's show you how to finish this off. Now, I'm not too sure, we can always look ahead, but right, so body to head. Okay, so you need to know how much long of a tail you need, but it looks like we're sewing the body to the head, so we'll just deal with that later. But I'm going to cut about 1 inch or so, and we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull that through the loop all the way out, and then we pull this excess piece, and then we're pretty much done with the head. You can tuck this inside that hole there. So we're done with this, and not to worry, because we're then gonna have to do the head and then sew it together, so this hole will not exist. But yeah, so far so good. I got this much of the soft blue left, so hopefully I won't need it again anywhere. I don't think I will, but yeah. So next thing we're gonna do is the body. I'm gonna go in and see how long or where we are in this video. Again, I try to keep these videos 2 hours, because with uploading and processing, it kind of gets all crazy when it's more than 2 hours. So hopefully I can do this in the next 20 minutes. We're gonna do the body, and then we're gonna have to break this into a 2-part video. You know what I'm finding? That the knitting kits are a lot faster than the crochet kits. I like both. I do believe that knitting is faster, but dang, man. I was hoping to put out 4 kits this week, so that's gonna be no easy task if this is already a 2-part video, because some of the Halloween kits that I got is very intricate, so that's definitely gonna take a while, probably longer than this one, I feel. Alright, so let's do the magic ring. I think I said this was yellow. This is orange, because it's going to be the pumpkin. Who knew? Alright, so let's do the magic ring. I'll show you this again. We're going to take the yarn here, and we're going to wrap it around our finger 3 times with a little bit of overage so that we can put the middle finger on there. Then you can situate your strands to be nice and straight, maybe not too loose. And then you're going to want to grab your hook. We're going to slip it underneath here, and then we're going to pull it back out, and we're going to drag this strand underneath these 2. So hook it and then turn it a little to the side so that it can fit under those 2 strands. And then once you've pulled that from underneath them, we're going to do a yarn over, and we're going to pull this strand through the loop, and then you can remove your middle finger and you can slip this off your index finger. Alright, so now we're going to do our single crochet stitches. So let's get to that. You should know how to do the single crochet stitch already, since we've done it a bunch of times. So if you need to go back and do this step by step, but I'm going to try to do at least the ring slow so that you can catch it again if you forgotten about it. You can also click on the gear button, hit the playback options to go slower if you need to. Oh shoot, I think I put more than I needed. I was too busy talking. Hold on. 3. Okay. Nope, not yet. Alright. Alright, now once you have all the stitches on here, we're going to overhand our hook, and then we're going to put this out of the way. Hold the bottom stitches, so you have the top ones near the hook. You want to gently hold the ones on the bottom. We're going to pull this excess piece. You're going to want to see which one of these 2 loops goes in first. So start pulling it, and then once you see which loop goes in first, stop pulling. So this loop here is the one that's moving first. So you're going to want to grab this end out, not this end here, but take this loop and you want to pull the bottom end out. So take that loop, pull the bottom end, you're going to see the other loop disappear into the magic ring. Keep pulling until that loop is completely inside the magic ring there. So once it's inside, you may still have a little hole left. What we're going to do is pull the excess piece. You're going to want to pull this until that loop goes entirely into the magic ring. If you do have the tiniest hole left in there, then what we're going to do is hold it in the opposite direction, maybe a little up to make like a 45-degree angle, and you're going to pull it just a little bit more. You're going to feel the yarn give a little bit, but you don't have to pull it too hard to where, I don't know what will happen. But pulling that will just make this hole completely disappear. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take a marker and we're just going to mark the last stitch that we just made so that we know where we have to end up. Now, for the second row, we're going to do some increasing stitches. And we've done this a bunch of times doing the head. So what I want you guys to do is just to complete round 2, and then we're going to go over the next few rounds. Again, to go do this though, you count back the number of stitches that the first round needed, and then you stick your hook in there so that you have the exact same number. It's always good to double check your counts. Sometimes you'll be missing a stitch, sometimes you'll be having an extra stitch, and it doesn't hurt to count twice or more. Alright, so I'm going to remove this marker, place it under the last stitch we just made, and then we're going to do round 3. So now it looks like between rounds 3 through 6, it's going to be the same parenthesis sets of single crochet stitches and increasing stitches. So since those are two things we've already done in this kit, in this video, I'm going to go ahead and do rounds 2 through 6 in silence, and we're going to pop back in to do the 7th round. So in silence. All right, so I am on round 7, and then we're gonna have to go from round 7 to 12. So I'm gonna use my markers 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and it's the same instruction all the way around. So I'm gonna pop back in round 13.
Got a lovely bunch of coconuts. There they are, all hanging in a row. A big one, small one, some as big as your head. Give 'em a twist, a flick of the wrist. That's what the showman said. Oh, who's next? Oh, it's got a lovely bunch of coconuts. There they are, all hanging in a row. A big one, a small one as big as her head. Give it a twist, a flick of the wrist. That's what the showman said. Hey. Stefan's got a lovely, Moira's got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Every ball you pull will make me rich. There goes my wife, the idol of my life, singing roll a bowl, a bowl, a penny. Oh, roll a bowl, a penny a pinch. Roll a bowl, a penny a pinch. Singing roll a bowl, penny, roll a bowl, singing roll a bowl, penny a pinch. It's October, early October.
Up you get, up. We made it very clear it was a double occupancy.
Yes, and excuse me. That may very well be. What I'm trying to make clear to you is that information was not conveyed.
Oh, your social worker should have.
Well, they didn't. That's the situation we're in now, so please don't prevaricate. Do you know what prevaricate means? It means to beat about the bush, which is to stall, to evade, to waste my time. It doesn't matter what you think should have happened, what you want to have happened. What did happen is I was misinformed, and now I want to be moved to another room.
All of our medical suites are double occupancy. Once your recovery is progressed, we can see about putting you on the wait list.
Wait list?
But that is going to take some managing. In the meantime, why don't you try engaging with your bubble? Make some friends.
I'll be better soon. Then I'm gone.
We can both look forward to that day then, can't we? Madeline? You love Tony Garfield? Madeline, we need you. Everybody loves Tony. He played rugby for New Zealand.
I fear the intersection of marriage is maybe a tad narrow. My exposure to rugby has largely been limited to watching its players dodge rape charges. Oh, shit. No, I can do it.
Okay,
No, I can.
okay, let's just...
I can do it.
from a normal house to a haunted house. That's why I love playing FanDuel Casino. Because with a shocking amount of jackpots, I never know what's waiting around the corner. Oh, jackpot. That's a nice surprise. Good stuff. FanDuel Casino. Calling all Thrillionaires.
Did you know you don't even have to deposit to try the Hard Rock Bet Casino app? Cashy Revenue, Puff and More Puff, and the rest of your favorite slots. If it's a hit, it's on Hard Rock Bet, the top-rated casino app with thousands of 5-star reviews. Play over 3,000 games and withdraw your winnings ASAP. And right now, you can try the app with a $25 casino bonus on us. No deposit required. We'll even match your first deposit up to $1,000.
These Murdoch men, you have to sacrifice a lot of things to make them the men you know that they can be.
To the Murdochs.
Amen!
The time is 12:55. What you eating?
I'm not really trying to have trouble now.
Couple of true blue lovebirds you got over there.
This time is played when madmen lead the blind.
Right up. The time is 12. I have the time, mate. I really have no bloody use for it. Josie, that's my third youngest. She gave me one of those Tom Clancy books for Father's Day. Look, I'm not sure a reader, but it's a real ripper of a yarn. The stoker, Jack, what's his face? Gets the bloody job done. Real one, real ripper. What's it called?
The sum of all fears.
Oh, you read it? It's interesting. It's all about the...
I know what it's about.
But you never read it.
All those books are about the same thing.
When you're ready. Yep, just when you're ready. Just when you're ready. Hand on the table. Just use this one. We want these muscles to recover. That's it. So slide along the table. Open up those fingers. Really look at what you're doing. Want your brain to recover. Open up your fingers. That's it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Reaching out, sliding towards the cup. Okay, we're going to go again. Look at what you're doing. Reach out these fingers. Can you hold it? What are you doing? me 2 ticks.
Stronger than I hope.
Okay. And shake. Okay. Just yeah. Oh my god. Breathe. Breathe. Just alright.
Alright. Just stick to showers from now on, okay, Morty?
Cities or towns beginning with Q.
Yeah, you got it. What is it?
That isn't Dave. Creeley. You're causing mischief, are you? Painting the town roost. Seriously though, mate, time to be.
Hello, Jeannie Bean.
Good night, Jenny Pin. Come on, mate. Off to bed.
Merry Christmas. My family here for me. I've been here a fortnight. They'll be expecting me.
You've been here for years. Hello. Anybody home?
Alright, so I completed rounds 7 through 12, And for the next 13 through 17, it's going to be the same stuff that we've been doing, except this time we're doing single crochet stitches and decreasing stitches. So I'm going to go about doing rounds 13 through 17, and then I'm going to come back in and show you again how to finish off, and we also have to stuff the body. Alright, so I actually have to do round 16 and 17, but we're in a spot where this is gonna get smaller. So like I did with the head, I would recommend putting stuffing in when you know that the hole is gonna get smaller, and then your fingers and hands won't be able to fit in there anymore. So I'm just gonna go in and start stuffing my body. And I did divide my stuffing, but it looks like there's more than enough to fill this project. So let's see. I have the head here and it's fairly squishable. Maybe too squishable, to be honest. But you want to have the same kind of firmness throughout your projects. So I'm going to actually, let's see, I'm going to maybe take this and stuff the head, even though it's the tiniest hole, because I think this is enough for the body. I don't think I can fit any more. So setting this bit aside, and I'm gonna finish rounds 16 and 17, and then I will come back in to show you how to fasten off. Alright, so I completed round 17 and then we're going to fasten off. So, like I said, I think we're going to sew the body to the head. So I'm going to want to have a bit of yarn to work with. And I'm going to cut this off here. Alright, now we're going to yarn over and pull through the loop all the way out, and then we're going to tighten this up. So go ahead and grab the needle. We're going to sew the body to the head. Alright. Before I do that, I'm going to go stick that remaining stuffing into the head. Alright, so it's a little firmer now. What you want to do is, well, here you don't have no choice. This is going to be your front because this is where the eyes are going to go. And then what you want to do on this end is to find the prettier side to make the pumpkin. So I think this is where we've put our markers. So this could be in the back, this could be in the front. Alright, so I'm just gonna go in around and sew this head onto the body, and they have the same amount of stitching, so I'm going to start there. I'm going to sew the stitches on each edge. Okay, so I've sewn edge for edge the head. Now you see how it's like whoop 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 bopping all over the place. This kind of shows that we need to get a better connection. So let me just see how this photo is looking. I think what I'm going to do is sew a row of the blue down here to the orange. That way we've got just a little bit more surface holding itself together, making that head more sturdy. Okay, and I'm going to continue sewing this row to the pumpkin all the way around. Okay, so now it should be, it's on there a lot more sturdier. I'm going to find my moment to tie a knot. Okay, then from here, I'm going to stick my needle into one spot here and randomly out the other. And we're going to cut just on the surface. And then just squeeze this to lose that, to tuck in that end. And then we have our first piece here, you guys. Comment below, let me know how it went. We're going to be doing a part 2, so if you have Prime, I would take this opportunity and go get you some markers if you struggled without them this time. They really should throw them in. I mean, how much is this really? You know, some kits give you 4 of these. So, at any rate, I wanted to quickly mention that in my description box, I do have a NFL giveaway going on my original channel. So check out the link. The rules are in the description box below. It would be very helpful for you guys to enter because there will be one nail winner and one craft winner, and the craft winner is going to be getting a bunch of goodies, a gift card, and then a one-on-one StreamYard session where you have a setup like this. You can take your phone and just directionally point it at a project that you're currently working on that are having problems with, or if you would like to learn how to knit or crochet, or if you are inspired to start a channel or currently have one and need some advice, we can take that hour to talk about that as well. Alright, you guys, so thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.